Hey everybody, it's Dana. It is Monday the 29th, and I know I need to do more Facebook Lives and videos and that sort of thing, so I'm going to start. And we may see a series of something like Dana's Dailies that might be very short, very brief, and then we're going to do some educational topics. Like, I really want to do some education on essential oils, herbs, homeopathy, things of that nature. So, to kick things off, it's getting kind of busy, which is a good thing, but it just reminds me how many issues our dog mamas are really experiencing with their dogs and their dogs' health and trying to feed them well. So, the number one question that I'm getting asked these days is, how do I make homemade dog food and know that it's balanced and healthy for my dog? So, the thing that I will point you to initially is my website, welloiledcanine.com, and then look under the Learn menu for the nutrition section. I also have a homemade food guide that I can share with you. It's out there under Guides and Protocols. You can download that and get started that way. I actually start sending that to my consultation clients in advance so that they can read it and use their time to ask questions versus getting that document later now and then having questions after our consultation. So trying to streamline all of this a little bit better. So watch for more of these topics and educational resources to be coming your way. I am committed to Thursday announcing my private client forum. I'm going to open it as a subscription service, and it'll be a place where you can go get richer information than I can share publicly. So there's a lot of stuff, oversight and overwatch and all that kind of stuff. But the private client forum, because it does put you and I in a relationship, I can share additional information with more context and more depth. So watch for that to be announced Thursday. And then I'll just take a quick reminder here to say, if you are still feeding kibble, please really rethink that. Right now, I don't know what's the right answer. I don't know what the truth is about this issue with kibble foods. It started with an announcement that it was Purina making dogs unhealthy. It has expanded. There are a lot of people expressing concern over their dogs being sick and some over their dogs having died. It does not seem to be a single brand or manufacturer. And so what that leads many of us to think is that it is an ingredient source, where these big manufacturers are buying supplies and product from suppliers who then take these ingredients and put them into different batches and different protocols. And so that could be one of the concerns. So it is not limited to a single brand right now. I have seen some lists, and you may have seen them as well. And I personally do not agree with these lists of foods that are so-called approved and safe to eat, right? The only list that I really sort of buy into is the one from the Truth About Pet Foods as it relates to kibble products. But you will not hear me recommend a brand of kibble, and I even document that on my website that says I don't do it. And the reason is for this very thing that is happening. We don't know. And so I never want one of my clients to come back to me and say, but you said feed this food. So I don't. I don't recommend kibble to anybody. There are a lot of issues with it. I will help you make it better no matter which one you choose. I believe we need to add things to every kibble brand except maybe some of the real top echelon. And if you're going to be in that category of food, you may as well be feeding fresh. The cost is negligible in the variance at that point. We also run into some issues with if you have to really zhuzh up a mid-grade kibble to include whole food supplements, to include good probiotics, joint supplements, and all of those things, then you're pushing yourself into a higher price point again, just by having to upgrade the food quality. But there are some budget-friendly things that you can do. I have a list of toppers and options that you can add from whole food sources out on my website. But we're in this really weird state of people who want to do what's best for their dog and are struggling to find what that is. And we are often in our head stuck on a budgetary number. Now, I'm not dismissing anybody who has a budget. I budget things maybe differently, but I spend what I need to spend to keep my dogs healthy and myself and that sort of thing. And then I'm a tightwad on a whole bunch of other stuff, right? But I will respect the budget that you have, no matter what that is. And I'm not going to shame anybody for where they are in that situation. But I know we're going to wind up spending money somewhere. We're either going to spend it in health care, trying to help them recover and get well again, or we're going to spend it in trying to prevent illness or prevent issues from arising, right? And I don't know that we can do either. There's no guarantee we're going to prevent everything, and there's no guarantee you'll recover from anything. We can certainly do our best, and for me, food is at the core of all of that, along with all things natural wellness. So I've deviated off course from what I was going to talk about. But I bring this up to say, really, you've got to take a look at this kibble thing that's going on. I cannot make a decision or a real opinion that says it's the food. We don't really know what it is. And there has been very little engagement from the FDA about this. I think I did see over the weekend that they have finally agreed to do some food testing. But you're up against big food, right? You're up against big corporations. And the interesting thing is, over the weekend, there was also a voluntary recall from Viva Raw. I'm an affiliate for Viva Raw. I don't know that I actually have many clients that are using that food. It's a great food, little small company that's making food to send to people who don't want to prepare it themselves. Great company. They made a voluntary recall because one dog over the weekend was sick after eating this food. So they've stepped back and said, check the lot numbers, and they're doing all the right things. Whereas big food, these big manufacturing companies are saying, not our fault. We didn't do this. It's not the food. It's not us. So that's a huge tell in the grand scheme of things and the commitment to quality, integrity, how the dog mamas feel about things, and so on. So please, if you are still feeding kibble, whether it's Purina, Science Diet, Royal Canine, there's even, Oh, that's where I was headed with these lists. You're even seeing things now like Stella and Chewy's start to show up on these lists of food that have been said by a pet parent has made their dog unwell. Now, there's a big caveat to that, right? Big caveat. Um, Intolerances, if you feed your dog a food that they are intolerant to, they could get unwell, right? They shouldn't move to death's door, but they may have diarrhea, not feel well, vomit, things of that nature. So I think somehow all of this is sort of now blended together. The fear is overwhelming with pet parents, and so there is a lot of input or a lot of experience being shared that may or may not be directly tied to the actual root cause. But I know in my heart, the quality of kibble leaves much to be desired. And so when I get calls from people who they say, my dog has kidney health issues, and this is every day, right? My dog has kidney health issues, and we have them on dry science diet. That's not going to be helpful long term. Dry food associated with kidneys that need moisture, those two don't align. A dog with IBD on a kibble-based diet that is limited ingredients, right? Synthetic vitamins and minerals. Bodies do not absorb synthetics well. So if we're feeding them food that is restrictive, that has synthetic vitamins and minerals in it, and now the body's not using those synthetics well, and the nutrient was low to start with, because the AFCO requirements of these foods are minimums. They are not optimals, right? They are minimum requirements, and typically that's all these manufacturers will meet. And if you read labels, and I encourage everybody to learn how to read the stinking label of everything that you're feeding, you will start to identify some really low quality ingredients and these synthetic foods or synthetic vitamins and minerals that are being added because the original vitamins and minerals that may have started in the food ingredients got cooked out. So I need you to really think about these things. I will meet you where you are with the budget and help you learn to add toppers from your own meals. People say all the time, oh, I can't feed people food. Well, it's not people food when it's the right food for your dog in his or her bowl, customized in the right way, right? No, I don't want you feeding them a boatload of French fries and hamburgers from McDonald's, or I don't even want you feeding them the crust of your bread, right? I don't want you feeding them popcorn. But if you have leftover broccoli and asparagus, put it in the bowl. If you cut off the stalk of your broccoli and asparagus, put it in the bowl. Those kinds of people food we can absolutely leverage, and I want to teach you how to do that. But I am very concerned about this this issue with these kibble brands and the number of people that are expressing their dogs now not being healthy as a result. And this has been dogs who've eaten these foods for a long time, and it seems to be within the last couple of months, certain batches may be associated with this, right? The theory behind that currently is that it's heavy metals, that it's heavy metal toxicity happening. That may change once they do these studies of the food, once they test these foods. It may or may not be present. I find it interesting too, though, that when I expressed to all of you recently that I have a heavy metal detox and I made it free, do you know how many people downloaded it? Zero. Which is shocking to me, right? So that means I'm not getting through. Something's not landing well. And so I think some of it is that you don't even see the posts that I make in the Facebook group. And that's okay. I'm going to work to change that. And that's part of why we're doing this video. But we are about to be on a series of me educating about the heavy metal detox. Many of you are looking at the weather going, oh, it's time to revisit my flea and tick or my heartworm. If you're on a modified schedule, it's not yet time. And I'm going to teach you why. I get inquiries from dog mamas and dads every day where I ask a series of questions about their dog's health and medications and products in use. And honestly, y'all, some are wearing it like a badge of honor. We are up to date on everything. We, religiously use flea and tick, heartworm, blah, blah, blah. And it's a source of pride that these things are happening. And I get it. I was in that scenario many years ago where I did everything the vet told me to do and was proud that I was able to do it, not realizing the potential harm that was associated with. So I've got to do a better job of providing education. And I really want you guys to push for questions. I love answering the questions. It helps me know where you are, what you need. So I need those questions and that feedback coming my way. But watch for more information coming from me that is maybe a little harder hitting than I have been in the past, because I need some of this stuff to land and I need some of this stuff to get through. So enough for my rant at the moment. I will let you guys go and just say stay tuned. We're about to gear up a whole bunch of stuff. So I hope you guys have a really great day.